Tyson Fury defended his heavyweight championship title in a battle with Dillian Whyte a little while back, and it's possible that it will mark the last time fans see Fury in a non-exhibition match. While reports on his retirement have been circulating for a while, the fighter sparked another rumor, this time about a possible future in pro wrestling with the WWE. First, Fury hints at making a return to WWE. While it's unclear whether Tyson Fury has officially retired from boxing, ESPN reports that the champion mentioned WWE during a press conference. Fury previously stated that he had spoken with the WWE about possibly facing Drew McIntyre at this year's SummerSlam pay-per-view in Nashville, which takes place on July 30th. Things can certainly change, but this honestly does seem to be an indication that the WWE's heavyweight champion will be returning. The plan appears to be to establish a feud of some sort between him and Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, followed by another match between the two in Cardiff a few months later. We're assuming that neither potential match would result in any wrestling or boxing championships being on the line, but who knows what could happen. Next, Tyson Fury's title defense against Dillian Whyte. Tyson Fury, the World Boxing Council and Ring Magazine heavyweight champion, announced his retirement from professional boxing after defeating interim champion Dillian Whyte at the Wembley Stadium Heavyweight Championship. The fight was stopped in the 6th round after Fury brutally knocked out the fellow Brit. Following the high-intensity bout in front of 94,000 fans, Fury reconfirmed his retirement from boxing, claiming he has nothing more to achieve, and later hinted at a return to the WWE ring. Sky Sports tweeted a video of WWE superstar Drew McIntyre not long after Tyson Fury's title defense. In what appeared to be a pitch for a potential match, Fury retweeted the post and addressed the company directly. Drew McIntyre, however, seemed unlikely to be in contention for a major title at this point, especially given the excitement surrounding Cody Rhodes' WWE return. And now, speculations about the Gypsy King coming back to WWE. When you think about it, it's really not that crazy to think Vince McMahon and company would want the Manchester native back. At the moment, the corporation is continuing its efforts to bring professional athletes and other celebrities from around the world on a part-time basis into its fold. Celebrities like Bad Bunny and Logan Paul, whom Tyson Fury has previously praised, have impressed everyone with their in-ring debuts. Professional wrestlers like Ronda Rousey and Brock Lesnar will be remembered as WWE legends and are still highly relevant post-WrestleMania. Could Fury be the next big sports star to make a name for himself in the pro wrestling business? We might find out in the next few months. Up next, Tyson Fury might appear at SummerSlam 2022. The athlete's mention of the WWE visiting the UK is interesting, given that the company will hold a major event in the city on September 3rd. If he returns, it will be his first match with the organization since 2019, when he competed in a few matches for them. This included a match against Braun Strowman at the Crown Jewel pay-per-view event in Saudi Arabia. The British fighter defeated Strowman, who was no longer employed by the company, and then returned to his boxing career. Tyson Fury may form an alliance for a blockbuster bout at the biggest party of the summer, as we've seen with recent celebrity appearances from the likes of Logan Paul and Bad Bunny. A standard tag team match, or even a multi-man tag team match against the Bloodline or the trio of Sheamus, Ridge Holland, and Butch could work. It would allow the Gypsy King to be incorporated into storylines and allow him to perform alongside several WWE superstars this time around. And now, Anthony Joshua says Tyson Fury will return for the right fight. Vowing to keep a promise made to his wife Paris, Fury has insisted that he's done with boxing after knocking out Dillian Whyte. But Anthony Joshua is confident he can lure Tyson Fury out of retirement to set up their long-awaited Battle of Britain. Meanwhile, the 32-year-old British boxer will face Alexander Usyk in July in an attempt to reclaim the IBF, WBO, and WBA titles he lost last year to the Ukrainian. WBC champion Fury was expected to face the winner of that fight to become heavyweight boxing's first undisputed champion since Lennox Lewis. And while the Gypsy King is adamant he will not be tempted back, Joshua believes the fight can still happen if he defeats Usyk this summer. Joshua spoke at the Oxford Union, where he told students that if Fury was in the boxing arena, was to come out of retirement to honor the gentleman's agreement, there would be a lot of money that could be made. The British boxer spoke of how he's heard people say that he only focuses focuses on what's in front of him, which is a good way to be. But Anthony said he also wants to look at what the bigger picture holds so he can steamroll through, if he has to, and to get to the pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. Anthony also said he sensed Tyson ticking over to come back if the right fight is presented to him, adding that retirement doesn't necessarily mean Fury's completely given up. Next we have Tyson Fury tells Deontay Wilder to return and win back his old world title. Fury has backed former rival Wilder to return to the ring and fight for his world title if the Gypsy King decides to retire after defeating Dillian Whyte. Tyson Fury believes that if Deontay Wilder retires, he should return to the ring and fight for his world title, since he believes that his former trilogy opponent would beat everyone in the heavyweight division except him, and that the Bronze Bomber deserves more credit. The Gypsy King spoke highly of Deontay, saying the fighter made 10 title defenses, equaled Muhammad Ali's record, and beat Vitaly Klitschko's record, but still hasn't gotten the credit he deserves, even though, according to Fury, he's still the second best heavyweight in the world. Fury fought Wilder 3 times during his career, having drawn his first fight with Wilder in a pretty controversial manner. However, the Gypsy King later ensured that the scorecards were not repeated by dismissing Wilder with a brutal stoppage. Later, in the third fight, Fury recovered from being dropped twice to successfully defend his title and put an end to their rivalry. Wilder has not competed since undergoing surgery on his broken hand following his second defeat to Fury last year. He is thinking about hanging up his gloves, but if he decides to return, he may have some options. Fury's wife talks about his future plans. Fury doesn't really seem to be hiding his desire to return to WWE. His wife, Paris, told BBC Newcastle back in October that the boxer is in constant communication with Vince McMahon. She talked about how Fury wants to be that cool dad for his kids who can give everything, and how it's one of the reasons the heavyweight might come back. She also mentioned the fighter's past. Being a young man, he'd tell her about all the wrestlers he was a fan of. Paris Fury speculates that her husband will most probably be making his return to the WWE, saying she was sure he'll be bouncing back into the ring one of these days. "I've won every belt there is to win," says Gypsy King, explaining his decision to retire from professional boxing after defeating Whyte at Wembley. Fury expressed his pride while looking back at his successful career and listed his achievements. The heavyweight champion has won 2 English titles, 2 British titles, 2 Commonwealth titles, the Irish title, the European title, WBO Intercontinental, WBO International, WBO Super, WBA Super, IBF, IBO, Ring Magazine, Lineal, and WBC. Fury says he's won every belt there is to win, and there isn't more to do. The 33-year-old said that he's unbeatable at boxing and has fulfilled everything he ever wanted to, adding that he's retiring as the only other heavyweight in history after Rocky Marciano to retire undefeated. Fury fought a total of 33 fights in his career as a heavyweight boxer and won on 32 occasions, earning 23 victories with knockouts and reaching a draw only once. Tyson Fury is the most dominant heavyweight boxer of his generation. When all is said and done, he will be considered one of the all-time greats. Although he claims to have retired, it's difficult to say when a top-level pugilist is truly done, especially when a large paycheck is on the line. That's a wrap for this video. Tyson Fury claims he's retired, but everything he says seems to hint at his return to the ring. Do you think the Gypsy King really is planning to make a comeback? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.